What happens when you buy a $2,500 Banshee from the hood and pair it with one of the most legendary sport bike motors of all time, the Suzuki Hayabusa? You get absolute chaos, broken parts, lots of custom one-off parts, and the most amount of money you've ever dumped on an ATV. Dang it.
Very high probability this thing jump timing.
But let's hope it didn't skip timing. But I can't give up so easily and let my sister down. I've got to make this thing nice for her, finish it, powder coat it, and get it street legal. And yes, I said street legal. I'm pretty sure I own the only 2 street legal Hayabusa ATVs in America, and that's just a dream come true. So I'm going to be putting the Banshee against the Raptor. I'd love to take these to the tail of the dragon, but first, we have to finish it. I don't know about you guys, but gas prices are ridiculous, and I'm having to resort to daily driving my Hayabusa Raptor. And that's why today's video is sponsored by Upside. So you just open your app, you claim your offer, and you can get cash back on every gallon of gas. Upside has hundreds of thousands of locations, convenience stores, restaurants, grocery stores all over. And all you do is just claim your offer in the app right there, and you get cash back straight into your bank account. It's not points, it's not a reward system, it's actual cash that can be transferred into your bank account. Yo, 12. Yo, oh! I think we're in the clear. So download the free Upside app and use my code VasiliBuilds to get 25 cents off every gallon of gas on your first tank of gas. That's gonna be the first link in the description. Huge thanks to Upside for sponsoring this video. But let's go ahead and get back to riding. So I've got to finish my Hayabusa Banshee, and the first thing I'm going to knock out is the exhaust. This is going to be a dual exit carbon muffler exhaust. This side is a little bit trickier as we have the brake master cylinder in the way. This is actually tubing I'm reusing off my Hayabusa trophy truck. So if it worked for that, it should work for this just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get both the pipes pulled off, welded, and then heat wrapped so none of the heat transfers to my legs or the gas tank. ProRun just released their brand new 6-piston rear brake for basically any quad out there. So it uses the same 6-piston technology that they have in their front brakes, and now you get that in the rear. And like I discussed previously, these have springs that actually separate the brake pads and eliminate drag. And on top of that, it's gonna really freshen the quad up. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and install these calipers. Hey guys, really exciting moment. So I finally got my plates in after months of waiting, and it's just crazy that this little piece of paper adds so much value to the bike. So if you're wondering how I pulled this off, Kickstand Boys on IG helped me out. You open a Montana LLC. It's actually way cheaper than I thought. Basically, the reason why I did this is because 1, I want to drive these on the street, take these to the tail of the dragon, and 2, I got tired of being lowballed. Now, someone can drive it on the street. Now, obviously, it depends on what state you're in, because I wouldn't do this in Georgia. Some states are stricter than others, but here in Tennessee, they seem to not really care. I am super excited. So it was the weekend, and I took the Banshee out for its first ever cruise. I've never really cruised on it before, but I just wanted to gauge the health of the motor and the Banshee and see what needed improving on this quad. Overall, everything was going pretty smoothly, pretty good. The quad was stable, no shaking, no speed wobbles, nothing, until I noticed it was down on power, and I started hearing a rattling noise.
Frick.
What happened?
My timing chain tensioner got undone.
Oh, dang.
Dang, I was like, what is rattling? Alright guys, so there is a very high probability this thing jumped timing with the timing chain loose. I heard it rattling and I should have pulled over way sooner, but I don't know. I should have pulled over way sooner. Fingers crossed we could just tighten this tensioner back in and the timing's still fine. Fingers crossed, because man, we spent like all day working on this quad so we could, you know, I'm just praying. Hey, crank those suckers tight.
You don't have like a wrench on you, do you?
Could step on it probably.
Nah, it's not gonna.
Nice.
Skyline Auto to the rescue.
Like I was saying, high probability. But let's hope it didn't skip timing.
Huh? Why is the food coming up front? Maybe try just starting it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good thing you filled the fuse box with a bunch of 30s.
Yeah. I think. Oh, check these out.
Here. Where's that Phillips scissor?
Dang it.
So it was back to running perfectly fine until the voltage regulator took a crap and the battery died. So
Not really.
Oh, man.
You got like a toe strap or something?
I wish. Sorry, boy.
It's all good. Appreciate it. Hey, I got a friend coming.
All right. I can drag you.
You got a
I got a ratchet strap.
Yeah? Sweet. All right. Yeah, let's do it.
So I put a new voltage regulator in, fixed the issue. Then the next day, I took both my quads out and let my friend ride the Banshee. And then this happened.
Heating. Oh, it's overheated? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Now usually, Hayabusas have been nothing but reliable to me, but this one from the hood was just not it, man. The previous owner botched the wiring and it just so happened to burn the hole in the ECU. So somewhere in the wiring harness there was a short and it was backfeeding current into the ECU. Why it failed now and not the 3 days before, I don't know. So I basically went out and bought a whole new Hayabusa because I didn't want to spend $200 on an ECU. So yeah, it kind of sucks. This one was flash tuned as well, but it's like the saying goes, if it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. So luckily I had a ratchet strap on me, so I got the Banshee back home all in one piece. Alright guys, so the folks over at Creality were kind enough to send me their K2 Plus 3D printer. This thing is huge. It has a really big bed, and that's going to come in a clutch because Hayabusa air boxes are pretty big. Overall, really nice printer. Huge thanks to the folks over at Creality. I'm going to 3D print a Hayabusa air intake manifold and a couple other stuff for my quad so that it never breaks again. So I'm stripping the entire Hayabusa Banshee down to finish it, to powder coat it, make it nice. It's going to be powder coated black with white accents. The plastics are white, so I think it's going to look really good. I'm also going to take the time, well, I'm going to replace this engine with the lower miles engine. Brand new wiring harness because the old one, as you guys might have seen, shorted out. Overall, all throughout this frame, I've been adding gussets where needed, extra strength and whatnot. You guys might have heard the saying, the last 20% takes 80% of the time. And guys, I just didn't even feel much of the finishing process. There was a lot of welding, grinding, stripping, relocating I had to do. And stuff like this just really, I feel like bores you guys out. So I had to relocate a couple pieces, but in the end, we got it all nice and stripped down.
ready for powder coating. Well, here's the Banshee frame all stripped down, ready for powder coat. Man, this took me a couple days to get right. This was one of the most neglected frames I've ever worked on, besides the RD350. But, I mean, it's looking amazing. I had to straighten out the rear subframe. It was bent. This thing's been in a couple accidents. It's a 1995, so it's got some rust on it. A lot of things needed to be addressed. Lots of new gussets to reinforce the frame, but overall, I am super happy with how it turned out. So I took this thing to A to Z powder coating here in the Chattanooga area, and they did a killer job, man. Knocked it out of the park. So if you're in the Ringgold, Dalton, or Chattanooga area, check out A to Z Blasting. Man, they've got over 6,000 colors you can choose from. Really quick turnaround times. I mean, they did this one in under 3 days. And they also do mobile blasting as well. So if you're restoring a classic. Now, their oven does only go to 10 feet long, I think. So that's the only limitation they have. But other than that, really nice, great folks. Fast service and affordable prices. So I definitely will be doing more work with them in the future. And if you do decide to check them out, tell them Vasily sent you. So we're going to get started with assembling this Raptor up. I got the steering bearing installed. Got the steering shaft. The rest should be pretty simple. Pretty easy, just very time consuming. Installing bearings into brand new hubs is always so satisfying to me. I'm also going to go ahead and top it off with these stainless steel wave rotors. It's going to stop a lot better than it did before. And then I've got this anti-vibration steering stem, which extends the handlebars out a little further. And now for the tricky bit is repairing this Hayabusa engine. So this is the low miles Hayabusa engine I was talking about, but it came damaged. So I welded it up, I drilled it and tapped it, and we got it good to go. And here comes the tricky part, getting the engine in without scratching any of the powder coat. Had to call Mama Builds for help, but we got it. And I made one side of the frame removable. It's still a little tricky to get the engine in, but I got it in and bolted up. Next up, I'm going to replace the clutch cover and the valve cover with the same white powder coated accents as the hubs to really finish off the looks. Next up, we install the radiator, followed by both the A-arms, the shocks, the hubs, and the front bumper. Followed by these really nice 6-piston front brakes from Pro Run. So next up is building an extended swing arm. Now I found that the lead times for stretch swing arms were way too long, 3 to 4 weeks. So I just decided, hey, why not build my own? So I decided I'm going to make a jig on my welding table and build my own stretch swing arm. Overall, I'm very happy with how it came out. You could see there I even jigged up the shock linkage. So yeah, these the swing arm pivot tube and the carrier tube were only like $110, whereas buying a stretch swing arm is like $400 plus. So this is a very small stretch though. It's going to be like a 2.5-inch stretch over stock, enough to keep the front end down, but not to make it too long. Because the goal is OEM plus. I'm going to go ahead and bust out my HTP TIG welder and make this thing look nice. Now I've been using my HTP welder for years now, and it's never let me down. So if you're interested in a new welder, check out the link in the description.
Well, here is the swing arm, all finished. This is basically a plus 4.5 over what was on there, but plus 2.5 over stock. So we got actually the carrier all gusseted, and material-wise, I think this cost me right under $200 in materials. Retail is $400 for these, so not bad, half the price.
So the problem is our air filters don't fit. Well, I had to crunch them up, and still they kind of get in the way of the fairings.
So I went ahead and fired up my Creality K2 Plus, and the first thing I'm printing is a TPU rubber airbox for my quad because the frame's in the way, so I need to make some tight 90s to get it out of the way. This was a 35-hour print job, a little bit of trial and error. I ran the TPU straight from the dryer, but it wasn't dry enough. You really got to make sure it's dry. So this is the first prototype I printed. TPU is really durable, gas resistant, and absolutely flexible, as you can see.
What? Oh.
It looks like it's porous, but it's not. It's totally sealed, but I wasn't happy with that. And I think I made the wall thickness a little bit too thin, and the outlets do not really fit. They're a little bit too small. So I'm 3D printed a slightly bigger one.
There you can see I have the second prototype. That one took even longer, 50 hours. I made the wall thickness a little bit thicker on the second prototype, and I am really happy with how it turned out. So here is our 3D printed TPU intake manifold. You might be thinking, well, there's no way that's going to hold the gas and the pressure. Well, it is. It's actually inspired by a YouTuber by the name of Driving for Answers. It's flexible enough that where it can, you know, have good sealing, but strong enough to where it can handle boost. So I know you guys might say, oh, isn't this 4:1 going to restrict airflow? I mean, it is a little bit, but from how I've ran them in the past like this, it made no difference like to the butt dyno. I'm sure I lose a little bit of horsepower, but I think this is actually way better than running 4 pod filters because the fuel gets to kind of mix up in here a little bit. I don't know. I've ran it like this. It's not that big of a deal. So I installed the 3D printed TPU intake manifold. It fit in the frame nicely, and then I gave it some revs to see how it would sound. We also 3D printed a couple other odds and ends. My sister got this little plaque for Mother's Day, and then I 3D printed this soft protective case for my ECU so it doesn't catch on fire again. And guys, Creality makes an amazing 3D printer, so I'll have a link down in the description. You guys should definitely check him out along with the custom discount code. Huge thanks to Creality for supporting this video. So I got all the lights figured out, high beams working, and here in the back as well, there's the brake light. So yeah. Hi guys, so I finished the Banshee finally. So, huge shout out to Kickstand Boys. He got these things street legal for me It's pretty simple. All I had to do is just get Montana LLC, and then it was like $500 each, something like that. So pretty simple. Huge shout out to Kickstand Boys. It's a pretty lengthy process. It could take a couple months. So if you have a dirt bike, side-by-side, or an ATV you want to get street legal, check out Kickstand Boys on IG, on Instagram, Facebook. He also does engine rebuilding. So huge shout out to dude. Oh, and he also got my yellow Supermoto street legal too. So man, this is like a dream come true. I had a vision, and here's the vision in reality. Will it be worth it though?